I'm muted. Hello. Yeah, that was boomerish of me. Doesn't happen that often. Hello. Welcome to GrimGame. Tonight we are playing Cyborg in my attempt to play everything on my shelves that I haven't played at least once. Cyborg is the science fiction cyberpunk slash art punk iteration of Morkborg, as you can see on the back. And I'm going to be playing up a lot of the weirdness and over the topness to the hilt. But it is basically a very, very streamlined and simplified OSR style system. Very deadly, very odd, very weird, very nicely presented. If you like lurid colours and so on, you can find a full review over on my main channel. And I think we could all do with escaping into a bit of a game tonight. To briefly go over the very simple rules, which fit on 2 pages. You have a bunch of stats. Those give you bonuses or penalties. You roll a d20, you add or take away, and you go against a target number, which is typically 12. When other things attack you, you make a defense roll. So the players basically do almost all the rolls apart from damage and so on. There are things like programs and apps, but they can affect the real world in this, so they're a bit closer to magic, but they have their own quirks. Armor is a dice roll that takes away from the damage that you've taken. Weapons do dice of damage. 20 is a crit, 1 is a botch. There's a thing called glitch, which are kind of like luck points, and you can spend those to do various things to get your character out of trouble. Let me just look those up quickly. Glitches, page 78. Okay, so glitches are like luck or things going wrong in the system, but in your favor. You can use glitches to do maximum damage with one attack, reroll a dice roll, yours or someone else's, lower damage that's been done to you by a d6, neutralize a crit or a fumble, or reduce the difficulty of a task by -4 before you roll. It has a somewhat generic setting, but nasty cyberpunk world is all you really need to know. Is there anything else we need to cover? No, I don't think so. If anything else comes up, it'll come up during the game. All right, let's bring in the players.
Hello.
Evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Good evening.
All right, let's see then. You want to introduce your characters before we get started?
Sure. Jar is a cyber slasher, high-tech ninja killer with blue fluorescent veins. Flirty, loves belts, and wears way too many of them. She wants a revolution, but every revolution and every day starts with yoga and meditation. And I owe 8K to a predatory net bank.
Okay, tell us about Yom.
I am playing Yom this evening. I've been just recently released from jail, so I am trying to get into everything that all the pleasures and things that I missed in the real world. And I have a thing for synth music, and I'm always carrying a paperback book. And currently, it is The Moon Pool by A. Merritt. And I also have a debt to a distant relative.
Okay, and Cal.
I'm Cal. I'm a hate wave style cyber slasher. Not too sure what that means, but way too interested in vampires and werewolves. I'm some kind of cyber goth. I'm obsessively clean, and I've got an 11,000 credit debt to a Roadrunner clan.
Yeah, basically nomads.
Yeah.
Okay. Sec.
And with
Thought
the
I might.
obsession with vampires and werewolves, I feel like it might be like Roadrunner Records.
Maybe. Okay. Let's see if I can make this work. So I thought I'd try and be fancy this evening, but I'm not used to using any of the extra features. Oh, there we go. All right. If I remove it, we pop back. Okay, groovy. That works fine. All right. So, yeah, you're all down on your luck and you owe a great deal of money. You offer your services to various people and forces throughout the city in order to try and get up enough money to pay off your debts. It's not easy, but there are wheelers and dealers, stuckers and divers, contacts, fixers, those sorts of people seeded all throughout the city who do have jobs that they can offer people like you. And the place you go when you're really desperate is the low bar. It's a little shitty, crumbling place built deep into the foundations of one of the mega blocks. It's covered in tags from gangs going way back, gangs that don't exist anymore. It's really, in many ways, more of a bunker than it is a bar. But you can get a drink there, and it's where a lot of contacts and fixers like to hang out. You probably don't know each other, except maybe by reputation. And you have all individually been contacted by a fixer, Mr. Peace, who has asked you to make your way to the low bar and meet him for a lucrative contract worth about 90,000 credits. So he says, though you've still got to negotiate, of course. So who wants to be first?
Well, when Jar's done her morning yoga, she's gonna head down.
Yeah, yoga against a backdrop of traffic noise, and flying spinner cars going past you, and smog and everything. It's difficult, but you just take it as a challenge to your concentration and your yoga and meditative capabilities. Getting down there, yeah, it's a bit of a trek. You have to get to the mega block, then you have to take the elevator all the way down. Then you have to take a service elevator, which is a lot more rickety, even further down. Then you have to take the stairs, and then you have to make your way down through a bunch of old detritus that has fallen down in amongst the foundations of the building to finally, eventually, get down to the low bar. When you approach it, there's some ancient yellow sodium lights beaming out of it. A bunch of signs in various languages, none of which look to make any sense to you. They look old, peeling, and rusted. There's ancient newspapers and sheets and scraps of broken electronics and glass and smashed bottles underfoot all around the front. and a heavily armored-looking door with a little sort of slat peephole like a prison door in it. You can just barely make out the sound of music and conversation somewhere behind all that concrete.
Gonna give the door two sharp whacks. Stand back for the peephole slot to slide open.
Yeah, so the slat slides back with a crunch and a shower of rusty dust, and an electronic eye peeks out from inside, and a gruff vocalized voice. Business?
Here from Mr. Peace.
Grunts affirmatively, and the heavily armored door slides back, groaning and protesting. Behind the door is a wee little person of a man, a midget if you're less politically correct, with warts all over one side of his face and that big electronic eye that was peeking out. He nudges a little sort of stool step out of the way to one side and ushers you through. The music's much louder now. There's smoke hanging in the air, mixtures of all kinds of different narcotics blending to make a heady perfume.
Is the little guy taking me to Mr. Peace, or is he just the doorman?
He's cranking the door shut again and and sits on a little chair to wait for someone else to come.
And I've got no idea what Mr. Peace looks like or any of his details.
You know him. He usually wears cheap suits. He has a penchant for knives. His skin is very thin, very pale, almost translucent.
I'll take a look around for him.
Okay, so we'll leave you there looking for him. All right, who wants to turn up next?
Guess I'll roll out of whatever couch I ended up on or bed I ended up in the night before and drink some water, maybe look for some whatever the equivalent of aspirin are in this time period.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. Yeah. So,
head that way.
you roll out of the bed you spent the night in. You hear a voice coming from the covers. Hey, before you go, could you pass me my legs?
Sure. Politely return the legs.
Yeah, you sort of blink a little and look at the bed, and there's a woman laying there trying to look fetching, but when all you are is a torso with empty sockets for cybernetic arms and legs, it's hard to look alluring. But you find the limbs and put them up for her. She says thank you. You grab a glass of rusty water from the tap in the bathroom and help yourself to some of her painkillers with an air hypo. Yeah, that's the good shit. And then you make the long and tedious and somewhat dangerous journey down to the low bar. When you arrive, you make your presence known. The slat opens up and a large electronic eye peers out. Business?
Here for Mr. Peace.
You too, huh? Sure. Stand back a bit. It slams shut again. There's a grinding of gears and hydraulics, and the armored door rolls back. Get in.
I asked him, could you said, like, as well, who else is here looking for him?
Some other low-level, cash mercs, sell swords. Yeah, people like yourself.
Can you point the person out to me?
Yeah. You see that hot-looking piece over there?
The blue veins.
Yeah, that's the one.
Thank you. I'll go.
He seems surprised. Seems surprised to be thanked, but cranks the door shut and resumes his seat. And you go in looking for the others. So, what's Cal been doing?
So I'm going to be driving around in a stolen taxi, picking up people acting like I am an actual taxi, but driving obviously like I stole it.
Because you did. Yeah.
I did. And I'm going to kick someone out of the taxi just down the road and pull up outside.
Okay. So you drop them off even though it's not their stop by kicking them out of the cab and bring the bullet scarred, heavily damaged cab down and around, spiraling down through the roads as far as they'll go, then sort of thump off the roads onto the crumbled concrete and compacted and layered detritus that makes up the street down on the underlevels, and eventually manage to find the low bar and pull up outside.
So I'll give the door a knock.
Yep. You doing anything about the cab? I mean, you managed to steal it. Clearly, it's quite thievable.
I'm just going to leave it outside. I can always steal another one if I need it.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so yeah, you go up to the door and knock on it. The slams back again. Another puff of rusty dust, and this big electronic eye peers out at you. Yeah, business?
Yes.
What business?
Oh, right. Yeah, Mr. Peace.
Another one. Right. Door the little slat slams shut again. The door cranks open. Get in.
So I'll walk in.
He makes a little perverted grunt as you stalk past him, and then cranks the door shut. They're in there.
All right.
The bar has a relatively small clientele, so it's not particularly packed. There's just like small scattered groups of people here and there whispering and talking to one another. Makes you think they're probably not making money off selling drinks. They're probably making money skimming off the top of the deals and things that are put together here. 1 second. Okay. Mr. Peace is sitting at one of the tables, his arm bent at a very odd angle, staring at a glass in front of him which appears to be glitching. It's flickering back and forth, neither being entirely straight nor entirely at an angle, and he's kind of eyeing it somewhat perplexed. But then he looks up when he spots the first of you and just nods in recognition.
Just approach him.
Okay. It becomes obvious to each other who else is here to see Mr. Peace, as you all end up making a line towards him at the same time. He gestures to the seats opposite him. Can I get you a drink?
Oh, it's okay. I drank before I came here. Helps with the driving.
Stay relaxed, loose, right? Yeah, I like it.
I don't suppose there's any thing you could get a wheatgrass smoothie.
I don't think so, no. And I wouldn't trust any grass that they've ground up into anything here anyway.
Then a whiskey neat will be fine.
Shit, I can't remember the last time I saw grass. Okay, he waves over one of the wait staff and just gets a bundle of drinks for everybody. Whatever you want, really. The whiskey's clearly been brewed in someone's bathtub and then dyed the right colour.
Just
It's interesting.
drinkable.
As drinkable as it is anywhere else in the city. Slightly better, even, maybe. The whiskey is strong, painful, with subtle hints of diesel smoke. So, says Mr. Peace, leaning forward over the table. Word is, you're all kind of desperate for money, right? Willing to take pretty much any job if it'll pay and clear your debts?
I wouldn't say desperate.
Motivated.
Everyone likes money.
This is true. This is very true. Well, I got a job that may suit you, potentially. Pays 90 grand. So I believe, if my intelligence is correct, that would deal with most of your problems. Right?
Does sound good.
Now, that's not each. That's between all of you.
That does sound less good.
Well, that's still what, 30 grand each? It's nothing to sniff at.
What's the catch?
And it's a difficult job. It's a dangerous job. It's a retrieval job, you know.
Retrieving what?
A person, and I know how much you guys hate escort quests. There's a bioengineer. Yeah, got fired from the corps, but you know he's pretty good. He set himself up in one of the walled city blocks, not too far from here, really. Maybe 15-20 minutes, depending on traffic. If you're taking a ground car, yeah. So he got fired or quit. Accounts differ. Set himself up in there, and he's been churning out some interesting biotechnology that's been causing problems for other people in the area. And on top of that, word is he's been doing some off the books human experimentation. So what my client, your sponsor, needs is for you to go in there, take care of the issue, and we want you to retrieve one of these victims, if possible.
You need them alive, yeah?
Yeah, preferably. If they're alive, we need them alive. If they're
If they're
dead,
dead?
confirmation is, yeah, set
But
people's
doctor,
minds at ease, you know?
the doctor we can take care of.
The doctor, yeah, you can take care of.
You give us a bonus if we bring him back alive?
You know what? His old corporation might be willing to pay out extra if he's brought in alive. So yeah, if you can bring him back, I'll pay you extra, let's say 30 grand on top out of my pocket, and then I'll see what I can get out the corpse.
Seems fair.
All right, the rescue subject is Ms. Wolf. I've got a hard copy image. It's the only one that's handy, so here you go. He hands you the picture. Barely nondescript, mousy looking woman with lank hair staring into the camera. Yeah, nothing special about her, but someone clearly cares.
Do we know if do you know if the doctor has any help?
Well, okay, so we're not sure where exactly in the block he is. He's going to need a lot of power, though, and he's going to need reasonably decent access. So, I mean, that might help with you narrowing it down. He seems to have fallen in with a gang that runs this particular block. the near tens. So, I mean, they're not anything big, but you know, any gang is dangerous. You corner a rat, it'll turn and bite you. So, yeah, you're either gonna have to get by them somehow. And these blocks, everyone knows everyone. You're gonna stand out.
Well, if
Any
you're not
chance we
opposed to
can
it,
advance? We could maybe bribe them.
Straightens his tie. What were we saying? If I wasn't opposed to what? You're muted. If that was Yom.
I'm here. I was
Okay,
waiting to
just
hear what they
checking.
were going to say.
All right. So, I mean, is there anything else I can tell you? The block is
Yeah, you said you would stand out in the neighborhood because is there anything about does the gang wear certain colors or do they have a symbol that they like some way to identify them that we can?
yeah, they wear bright green armbands, and they have a lot of stim injection marks around their necks. We think he's keeping them in stims and other chems and mods.
Okay.
You seem like a man who can get things. Do you think you can get us some stims to do some talking with them? I mean, they're not going to be happy about their supply disappearing, but maybe if we can offer them another supply.
True. Though he's a
Maybe
constant
a chance for
supply,
some
you know.
business there.
He's a constant supply. He's a cook. I mean, I could give you some good, get you some good quality stuff. I mean, the cost would have to come out with bonus.
Well,
But
obviously, so he's testing on humans. Do we know if he's targeting certain ones, or is there any word out that he might be looking for a certain one that we could say we have access, like we could get hired to kidnap someone for him, and then
I couldn't say. I haven't done that much investigation into it.
okay,
If you want to look into that issue, see if there's anything extra. I mean, that's on you. It's your time. Time is money.
okay, all right.
What are people's thoughts on replacing their supply with us?
not against it. I just don't want to do all that legwork.
I'm just thinking ongoing profits.
If you've got a lead on a supply, then I'm not going to stop you.
Well, if Mr. Peace can get hold of some good quality stuff and we act as a go-between, make the introductions.
Yeah. I know some people. Okay, so let's say we knock 10k off your bonus, because this is going to have to be done quick. I'll score some stims, get them brought here, enough that you look like serious dealers. Yeah. And then maybe you can use that as a cover to get an audience with these gangbangers, and we'll take it from there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All
Everyone
right,
else
just a
happy
sec.
with that?
Say again?
I just said, is everyone else happy with that?
Yeah, no, I don't see a problem. Either way,
Yeah.
it gets us through the door.
Yeah, gets
Right.
us through the door, and then, I mean, stims are addictive. They're going to keep coming back for more if these are good.
He leans back in his chair, which creaks slightly, places his hands on the yellow formica, and leans back, and his eyes roll back in his head. You can see like flashing lights in his eyes and little dots of light moving under his skin. And then he says, "Okay, I got a delivery on the way. So we got like 5 minutes or so before it gets here. Anything else I can help you with?
Another Bloody Mary.
All right, but I hope you know that's not tomato juice. Oh, the doc, the scientist you're after. Its name's Imra. He's a really odd looking cat. He's kind of experimented on himself, we think, or might be a bit into his own meds. No one's seen much of him since he went into the block, but even before he went into the block, he kind of looks like an emaciated clown.
Do we know if he's capable of feeling pain?
So far as I'm aware, but God knows what kind of stims he's on.
Well, we can always try.
He just sits there awkwardly in the silence, sipping his drink.
All right.
Check my inventory.
I'll
Does
just pull
anyone
out my
have
book and start reading while I'm waiting.
Does anyone have any means of restraining a person?
I've got a strangler implant. Other
Yeah,
than that, that's
you can find rope or torn clothing or cables. You know, there's plenty of stuff around for tying people up. Peace gets up and wanders off towards the door to collect the shipment. And a short while later, comes back, hefting a black plastic box. On the side of the box is a little cartoon image of a baby with one tooth, like going with a thumbs up. He pops the box open and takes out a vial and holds it out to you. There you go. Top quality adrenochrome, straight from the farm.
Excellent. And you can get more of this if we strike a deal?
I can, yeah. But, you know, you don't need to follow through on the deal. It's just a cover, you know.
Oh, yeah, but if we can keep selling them stuff, why not?
Yeah.
10k for this. Same rate going forward?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We'll sell them it for 15.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I will leave things in your capable hands. Ping me a message when the job's done, and I'll meet you back here.
done.
Oh, just one other thing. Do not dick me over. All right?
I would never
Wouldn't
even
think
consider it.
All right. And he saunters off.
So, Cow,
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Oh, that would be me, yeah.
Yeah.
you want to just roll up to them, try and tell them you've got a new supply.
Yeah.
All right.
And then what did you thinking try to trade for the girl or just to get in the place and then try to find the, I mean, we've got to find the girl. I mean,
Oh, we just show up, we tell them we heard the stuff's being cooked at home by some amateur. You know, try some of this. You won't want to be taking his stims anymore.
All right. I can cover you while that goes down.
And we'll take care of the guy that's cooking for them at the moment as an added bonus. Because, he's not going to be happy if somebody else starts selling them stuff, so we'll just take him with us.
So far, so good.
Okay.
We just got to make sure to get him alive. And the girl.
Yeah. Well, we can try and get him alive. We get paid more if we do, but, if he dies, shit happens.
So we're hoping that their loyalty to money is going to be more than their loyalty to him, essentially.
Or the loyalty to drugs.
Yeah, to a supply of drugs. Yeah.
All right.
I guess we make our way to the block.
Yeah, I've got my ride parked outside. Well, it's someone's ride. It's mine now.
If it's still there, roll a d6. On a 1, it's been nicked.
It's been nicked. I'll have to steal another one. Are there any other vehicles around?
Down here, not so many. Alright, so yeah, you pile out of the bar past the little fella who gives you a nod or a lingering perverted stare, depending, and head outside. Yeah, the cab is missing. All that remains is its rear license plate lying forlornly on the ground.
Well, I mean, it's not like it cost me anything.
If you make your way back up along the tracks and up to the roads, then you're more likely to run into a vehicle. So
Yeah, we'll just flag someone down and throw them out and take it, Grand Theft Auto style.
all right.
I think there's a cab service you can call.
Yeah, but that costs
Probably.
credit.
Yeah, you're trying to lose your debts, not. I'm just curious if there's a random encounter table, because that might be fun.
I just figured it was a good delivery system for a car.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, let's call a cab.
I'd like a pizza, please, and make sure it's a nice fat pizza delivery boy with plenty of credit cards.
Yeah, I like your thinking with that.
Okay. Well, no cabs are coming down to the deepest level, so you still have to trog up through several floors until you get up to actual ground level rather than below ground level. And once you're up there and close to the roads, there are various vehicles driving by, as well as aerial cars flying around, darting between buildings or disappearing into the smog bank above. But from here, you can place a call for a cab, and about 15 minutes later, another chunky, armored, slab-like, bright yellow cab trundles up. And from the speaker grill on the side of the armored driver door, you the fare?
Yeah. That'll be us.
Okay. Show me your credit.
Can you just give us a second? Because
Sure.
have you got any credits?
I do have 70 credits.
Do you want to give them
I'm gonna flash the credits at the side of the door.
Okay. A little electronic reader beeps, and a little light on the handle turns green. All right, credit check through. Get on in.
Gonna look to Cal.
I'm going to pretend like the handle on the door is broken and I can't get it open. Oh,
Problem?
yeah, your door's not working.
You gotta jiggle it and yank it really hard.
Yeah, no, it's not moving. Can you come and take a look?
Okay. Roll a d20. Add or take away your, I think it's presence. Yes, presence is the stat.
Well, I got a natural 20, so
Okay, well, that'll do nicely.
he's getting out and getting a kicking.
All right. Yeah, any special capabilities you've got are lower on the character sheet, but there aren't really skills. It's more like special capabilities and feat type things, really. All right. The side of the armored cab opens up, and a guy gets out. A somewhat elderly man in a white vest, covered in bloodstains, black combat trousers, combat boots. He's got a face like a bruised thumb.
So as soon as he gets out, I'm going to attempt to throw him on the ground and just start kicking him.
Okay. All right. Well, you take him by surprise. So, trying to throw him, I guess you've got to overpower him. So, make a strength roll, difficulty 10, because you got surprise.
Oh, another natural 20, so 22. I like this.
Okay. You grab him, flip him, throw him to the ground. How much damage does unarmed combat do?
Probably D6 if it's a...
Well, I think it might be like D2 or something. Guess it'll be under weapons if it's set out like more.
I'm not trying to kill him, I'm just trying to...
No, but you might accidentally kill him, and that's the kind of game it is. So, okay, yeah, D2 damage. So D6, 1 to 3, it's 1, 4 to 6, it's 2.
1 damage.
So doubled for the crit to 2 damage. Okay, you didn't kill him, but you do flip him and throw him to the ground. He lands with a heavy thump on the crumbling tarmac and lets out a loud oof.
As I'm putting the boot to him, I'm just going to say, we're taking your cab.
Are the rest of you joining in?
I'm gonna hold the shiv to his neck and ask politely, are there any trackers that we need to remove? Sorry for the trouble.
The company has a tracker. Yeah, it's in the dash.
Thank you. I'm gonna go for that and then just toss it out and stomp it.
Okay, yeah.
Unless it's like one of those.
Make a strength roll, difficulty 14 to yank this out.
Big un. 16. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you pop a couple of catches on the dashboard, rip part of the fascia off, reach in, grab the tracking device, and yank it out. It starts screaming in your hand, "Help! Help! I am being stolen! Help! Help! I'm being stolen!"
Toss it over an overpass.
Yeah, you just throw it down into the underground. Yeah, it disappears down into the foundation, still screaming for help. A bunch of street kids appear like cockroaches, scuttling towards it and start fighting over the bit of scrap. But you have another cab.
Does
There
this
we
one
go.
look less shot up than our previous one?
Yeah, it's a lot better looking than your previous one.
Excellent. So, gentlemen, shall we fuck off out of here?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get out of here quick.
Okay, so you clamber in. I guess Jar and Yom in the back, Cow in the front, driving. There's a few sort of gewgaws and trinkets and things hanging from the rear view. There's a silver medal for bravery with clusters from the OK Cola Corporation. A crucifix with a teddy bear nailed to it. A cigarette lighter. A few other bits and bobs picked up here and there, it seems. But yeah, you get the thing turned over. Call up the navigation computer and head off. Right. Random encounters on the way. Do we get anything? Yes. Okay. So you're speeding your way towards the block, which is Lojab 03 is the name of the block. Not that it means anything, but it's right in a mix of other mega blocks, all crammed together on top of one another. As you turn off from one of the main roads and get down into the cross streets that move under, through, and between the mega blocks, suddenly a kid in a ratty hoodie dashes out in the road in front of you. If you want to avoid them, can you make an agility check, please? Difficulty 12.
Can we just run them over?
You can if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a car. Doesn't matter.
All right. You carry on at full speed, slam into the street kid.
All right. Can I use a glitch to save this kid?
Yes, you can. If you want
All
to
right.
waste a glitch saving around
Yeah,
the street kid.
yeah. Feeling that I'm gonna have to do this again, but yeah. All right. I'll use a glitch.
Okay, so the cow just keeps on driving as this kid darts out, but suddenly the kid turns, looks at the cab, their eyes glow bright purple, and the cab drives straight through them. And without, like through them, like a mirage or a hologram or a ghost. And then looking back behind you, you see the kid still stood in the road behind you. And then a couple of corporate cops, come charging from the side of the road, following the kid, who dashes across to the other side and disappears. But you've rolled on by then.
Cal, you gotta watch for the corpo cops.
Sure, but like we're in a car and they're not.
They do
Yeah,
have
they have-
cars and hover vehicles, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Access
And
to
tanks.
cameras.
Yeah. Heavy weapons. All right. According to the navigation computer in the cab, this should be Lojab 3, but looking up at the towering mega blocks all around you, people have built vertical shanty towns onto them that causes each tower to spread out in all directions and fuse into the towers next to it, kind of like the old Tudor buildings that used to come up at angles because you only paid for the footprint. So, yeah. And there's a near constant rain of trash bags, dead rats, used needles and stuff falling down from the sky and raining down around the mega buildings.
So I take it this is the one.
This block here, from the base of it, should be the right one. And looking at the tags, which are all bright lurid green, that would seem to be accurate.
Just to clarify, I've got two basically assault rifles. Am I allowed to just walk around town with those, or like?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
If you went to one of the posher districts, questions might be asked. But down here, no one gives a fuck.
Okay. All right.
In fact, if you didn't have a gun, it would be suspicious.
All right.
Why isn't that sharing? Okay, that's completed.
So, Jar, you said that you would be willing to play lookout. I mean, I feel like in case this plan goes sideways, we should at least have one person that they don't know is with us. So, is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I mean, like, and Cal, you're going to play the face, and I'll play her sort of silent enforcer type.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
You're gonna play lead, right? And then I'll just play like your silent enforcer type.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell them stuff. You look tough.
Okay. And who's staying out on watch?
Yeah, I'm hanging back.
Okay, so you're gonna stand guard over the cabs. You don't want to get another one stolen today.
Yeah, if I can try and do anything to hide, I will do that.
Do you have a long range weapon?
I do not, but I can sneak up on people.
Well,
Actually,
I
I'm
mean, I
not
can
that
let
sneaky.
you borrow one of my. I've got 2 assault rifles. I've got an assault rifle that I can let her borrow.
All right. What's the damage die on that?
D8.
Okay. So I'll have that leveled then, just ready to use if anyone comes by.
Okay. All right. So you other two head in towards the base of the tower. Yeah, shit is constantly raining down from above, but it's not like it's a torrent, so you can fairly easily avoid it, step around it, or rely on luck if you prefer. But once you're in under the cover of the lower overhangs, obviously that stops anything else falling on you. There's a few street kids around sifting through the trash, sort of dragging the more interesting looking stuff underneath the base of the tower and rooting through it. A few homeless people with shopping carts and stuff around as well. And there's a couple of gangers, judging from their armbands, standing outside the main front entrance to the building. They're packing pistols, wearing raggedy leathers and, raggedy clothing as well. But it seems like this is a pretty poor area, all in all. As you get closer, you can see the stim injection marks around their necks, which double confirms this is the Neo 10s. But none of them look particularly well either. Quite pale. Some of them have lesions, growths showing. Yeah, not nice looking guys.
Evening, gentlemen.
One of them turns to look at you. One of his eyes is slightly milky. It's almost as if there's fluid in it sloshing around when he looks at you. So, what you doing here?
Well, we were hoping to have a chat with your boss.
Oh, some what? Upper level maid comes down here and just wants to see the boss like that?
You mean upper level maid?
Looking at your lace and your frills.
I mean, being well dressed doesn't mean I'm some kind of upper level anything. Just means
If
I'm
you
well
can
dressed.
afford to be well dressed, then you don't belong here.
You could afford to be well dressed too if you did business right.
These things don't matter. We have a higher calling.
Excellent. Well, is your boss about? I have a business proposal for him, which I think you'll like as well.
Maybe if you tell us what this business proposal is, we can think about taking it to the boss.
Right. Well, I've had it on good sources told me that your stims that you take are shit. I'm here to offer you an alternate supply of the good stuff. I've even brought a sample for you, but I need to run it by your boss first, and then you can get some of it.
Okay, their eyes twitch slightly when you mention sample and stims. Our stims are a holy sacrament.
Yeah,
Yours
but
couldn't possibly stack up. I mean, well, I suppose we could try some, and then
well,
if we think it's good, we could take you to see the boss.
no, I need to run it by your boss to make sure it's all right to give you some.
Well, but it's how are you going to see the boss if you don't give us some?
How are you going to get it if you don't let us see the boss?
Yeah, but how are you going to see the boss if we don't take you to see the boss? And how are we going to take you to see the boss if we don't have stims? You know, I'm feeling very tired.
Listen, take us to see the boss. As soon as we get there, we'll be very quick with him about what it is we're doing, and for being so helpful and taking us there, I'll ask him to let you have the first shot.
Listen, I don't want to waste his time, so I want to check the stims for quality and make sure, you know, you're actually about the business that you say you're about. So you give me the stims,
Listen,
I'll
look
take
at
you
me.
to see the boss.
Look at me. Look at how nicely I'm dressed. Right? My business is stims.
Okay. Right. Make a toughness roll to outstubborn him in this argument. Difficulty 12.
Oh, I got a 7 with no modifiers.
Okay. This goes on and on and on and on until you can't take it anymore. You have to break the impasse somehow. It's up to you how you break the impasse, but you have to.
How many hits will this the stims we've got do?
You've got loads, like this whole crate full. You got plenty.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll give you half a dose. Right? Because I don't like. I know the stuff you've got is shit, and I don't want to give you a full dose of the good stuff and kill you. So I'll give you half a dose. I'm willing to bet that's going to be better than a full dose of what you're normally taking. You can take me to see your boss. You'll be
Half a dose each.
How many of them are there?
2.
All right, half a dose each. That seems reasonable.
All right, hand it over.
All right, so I'll hand them over one dose to share between them.
Okay, he takes the whole dose. His friend looks upset. His eyes widen and glow slightly for a moment. The greenish cant, his eyes turning red. Yeah, that's good shit. That's some hot baby blood you're pushing. Yeah. All right, let's go see the boss. Come on.
And as we're walking to the boss, I'm gonna try and somewhat covertly, so that the guy who's wired doesn't see, give his friend 2 doses, just so he doesn't feel bad.
Yeah. You wouldn't want random
him
gangers to feel bad, would you?
Children, all right. Let's just run them down. Not trying to upset a random ganger.
We're not trying to make money from children. Yeah.
I'd like to pay attention on our way through and for, possible alternative escape routes or, other, like guards they may have positioned or just,
Okay.
things like that.
Yeah, in the kind of lobby area of this building, there's big piles of rubble, and from some stairs and stuff that lead down to the sort of maintenance levels and janitor's office. There's a steady flow of raggedy-looking people bringing up buckets of concrete and emptying them out into these piles. More street kids are picking over the piles and pulling out the rebar and anything else that looks remotely useful. But it would seem that they're digging away somewhere underneath the building. Also on the lower floor, there's like four little offshoots. One area seems to be set up as some sort of brothel or something. The windows are all pasted with lurid, lewd pictures of people with very interesting implants. There's a sort of rag picker's stall with a bunch of old clothes piled up in heaps, mouldering with people picking through them, looking for things. There's a little tech station where a guy is repairing people's cybernetics crudely with car parts and things. Sort of looks over as you go through. And the last area is closed off with another couple of guards. But this guy leads you to the multiple rapid elevators that serve the rest of the building, past yet more guards who are guarding the elevators, and leads you into one of them. Right, come on! Let's go see the boss, right?
Any sign of stairs somewhere?
Yeah, there is an access door, presumably to stairs, but this thing's, tall and harsh. But there are stairs should you need them. Alright. He taps the button like 100 times, waiting for the doors to close, and then the lift rapidly ascends through the floors. Yeah, he's gonna be stoked when he sees these stims. They're fucking great!
So how do you rate them compared to the ones that you've had?
It's different. The ones we have is like more long term, yeah? Gets in your blood, keeps you hype all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night. And like you never get tired as long as you keep taking it, right? Yeah.
Oh, you'll never get tired on these.
No, if we can get enough. I mean, right? Because, yeah, it's quality stuff from Uptown. It's hard to get hold of.
Yeah, so that's why we want to speak to your boss, because you've got to make sure the quality stuff gets down to the people on the street level.
Yeah, it's very egalitarian of you, comrade.
Yeah.
What about your brothel downstairs? Anything quality in there?
No, that's like a trap. If another gang comes in, that's one of the first places they're gonna go. And like we could just the place is rigged, man. Right, ball bearings, razor blades, and shit.
Smart.
Yeah, real smart. That's why we've been controlling this block for so long, man. Right. Fuck, this elevator takes a long time.
You guys seem real clever.
Yeah. It's all the stims, right? Keeps the brain juices flowing. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeps your brain active. Keeps you thinking good.
All right, the elevator stops. The doors crank open. You seem to be at one of the upper levels. There are grimy windows that look out into the smog cloud, and you can make out lights from other buildings around. Even though it's broad daylight, it kind of feels overcast and grimy, but not quite as dark as it was down below. He leads you out of the lift, pacing ahead, clearly frustrated that you're not walking fast enough to keep up with him, and leads you into what seems to be a kind of impromptu gym. They've built all kinds of exercise devices, weighted ropes that they can shake, heavy weights, which are just long pieces of rebar with lumps of concrete on the end, And there's a whole bunch of the gangers working out in here or sparring. He marches straight up to one of the biggest and ugliest of the lot. Boss, got some people here. They got some great stims they want to show you. The boss, presumably, a hulking slab, like a walking tumor, with all manner of growths from his body, comes over to you. He's like a clear foot taller than the tallest of you. Sort of peers down. So, this Zipperhead says you've got stims for us.
Yeah, we thought we'd come and see if we could do some business with you. We heard the stims that you were getting were subpar. We've got the good stuff from up top, and we just thought we'd see about getting a distribution deal with you. Obviously, we brought some samples that you're welcome to give a try. As you can see from your colleague here, he's fucking wired. I'm sure he can give you an accurate report on how good this stuff is.
Well, the guy we get our stuff from at the moment, he's like, he's not just a chem supplier. He's a guru. He's a shaman. The stuff he gives us brings us closer to our god, and he trades it for barter and for free. Can you beat free?
Well, I mean, everything comes with a price, you see, and I'm sure he's got some kind of price that he's expecting from you in the long run.
What he needs, we take from the other gangs and the other towers. But I don't know what we've got that you would want.
You could take credits from people. I mean, you've got a veritable army here.
Hulking Boss sounds like one floating device away from getting into the spice tree. People don't have many credits down here, and what they do have, we tax pretty heavily for our protection. You understand?
People don't have credits down here. Why?
Are you a believer in anything?
Well, I'm a believer in things, yeah. What exactly do you believe in?
We believe in the immortal tumor.
The immortal tumor?
Yes. Cancer is immortal.
You're right, cancer is immortal.
So, we grow these sacred tumors and growths to show our obeisance to the god, that it will spare us and make us immortal.
I'm not really sure it works like that, but
one day it will. We just have to have faith.
I'm not gonna shit on your religion. If you want to believe in that, that's totally cool. Any chance you could introduce us to this guru of yours?
Well, he doesn't like outsiders.
Oh, how is he going to spread his word if he doesn't expand to new audiences? We've come all the way from up the top to bring you the best quality stims we could return with the teachings of your guru. I mean, if you'd be willing, we could take him with us briefly. Obviously, we'll bring him back, but just to spread the word up there.
He ponders, scratching his cheek with splintered nails, and watery pus trickles down through breaks in the skin.
We have a lot of stims we can leave you with, so that you... Obviously, he's supplying you at the moment, so... We can make
First,
sure
let
that
me
we won't go without supply while we take him to spread the word.
see this merchandise.
So I'll beckon him over to this crate that's presumably being carried by one of the heavies.
Yeah. Well, Yom, because Jar is guarding the taxi.
Yeah.
Okay, so you set it down on one of the side tables, open it up. Give me a shot.
Sure. Here you go. I'll let you do the thing,
Yeah,
but I'll pass him a dose of it.
he flips it with a practiced hand, like a close-in magician doing a coin trick. Pops the cap, sticks out his tongue, and injects the stim directly into the meat of it. You can really taste the innocence. Yes, this is good. I'll let you see our guru if you and your friends partake in our sacrament first, to show that you're worthy and willing to truly respect our beliefs.
What exactly is your sacrament?
He opens his greasy leather vest and takes out a rather cruder looking couple of vials, which contain a kind of greenish liquid. It's a stim, much like that.
Well, you see, in the stim supply business, you don't take the merchandise, because then you end up
Here
with no merchandise.
we do. I'll send some men to fetch your friend by the cab. We'll make sure no one steals it.
If you can make sure somebody's watching the cab for us, it would be very much appreciated. You seem like a trustworthy gentleman.
He snorts at that. Gives orders to a couple of his gang members. They head off. Please sit.
As I say, I'd rather not be imbibing the. Obviously, this is your merchandise, but I wouldn't like to.
It's only fair. I sampled yours. I wouldn't want you to feel cheated. And as I say, it would show respect to our beliefs and a worthiness to be brought before the guru.
Am I up in the gym area now?
Yeah, they'll have grabbed you and brought you back. So yeah, they're having this discussion as you come in.
So this is clearly some kind of mutagen that he's got, right?
Yeah, one dose might not hurt. It's hard to tell.
Jar.
Sorry, carry on.
Jar will look at her fluorescent veins. She'll grab a vial and think about it for a moment, and then just jab it in her upper arm.
Okay. 1 second. Just trying to find something quickly in case it all goes wrong. Here we are. All right, make a toughness roll.
20, and not natural 20.
Okay. All right. Temporarily, your agility is increased by +1. So at least for the rest of the game, really. All right, you inject this stuff. It feels strange. It's kind of like a stim, but it's fairly low level. But you can almost feel this stuff oozing through your veins. It's thick, like oil or a milkshake. Not quite chunky, but yeah, it's unpleasant to have injected. But yeah, it does make you feel hype. You feel alert, ready. There. One of you, at least, is willing to try new things.
All right. All right.
So,
Is that good? That good? We're ready to go. Ready to meet him.
your friends must also partake.
I'll reach out and grab one.
When in Rome, I'll take one.
Okay. Both make toughness rolls, please.
Third natural 20 of the night.
Okay. You, for the rest of the tonight, can boost your character's agility and strength by 1.
5.
Okay, it just makes you feel kind of jittery. That's about all. Like you've had too much coffee, but it has no other discernible effect on you. There, that wasn't so difficult, was it?
Oh, it isn't as bad as I was expecting, to be honest. Like, no disrespect. But I've been
well-
told that the stuff you had was terrible, and it's all right.
Well, the true revelations only come with repeated use. Perhaps we'll pack you a doggy bag of injectors to take with you.
Well, it'd be appreciated. Yeah, I mean, that we can obviously leave you with some of ours. Consider it a goodwill trade between us.
Well, let us go and see the guru then, now that you have proven yourselves. Bring your stims. He can run some tests on them before we get rid of him. If we get rid of him.
Oh, we don't expect you to get rid of him completely, but we'll need to take him up to the higher levels for a little while. But like I say, we'll bring him back.
This must be discussed with him. Come to the elevator.
Sure.
Okay, 1 second. I really need to get better at this screen sharing thing. Okay, so that should work when I need it. All right, so you pile into the elevator and descend through the levels. The boss and a couple of other gangers with him come with you. He must be his bodyguards. They seem particularly cancerous, especially compared to some of the other gangers that you've seen. Perhaps it's a mark of rank or something. But you get back down to the bottom level, pile out. The workers, the diggers, and the others down here show deference to the gang leader as you go on by and head down into the depths where they've been tunneling. So initially you pass through the sort of janitorial areas, the boiler room, which is a rattling hellhole of barely working technology held together with prayers and duct tape. And then further down, where they've burrowed into the foundations and the rock and have strung whatever lighting they can find around down here. The walls start to get covered in a kind of sweaty dampness down here. There's the occasional rusty stain, which you think is probably blood. And occasionally, distantly, you can hear a kind of rattling, croaking roar and howl. But eventually, you are brought before the guru. The gang leader calls out, Imra, people with stims, come to talk with you. The scientist turns round. His skin is drawn tight all over his face, all over his body. He seems reduced pretty much to a living skeleton. Looking closer, you can see that there is skin and flesh, but the upper levels seem to be somewhat transparent. He wears thick shaded glasses to protect his eyes and has a shock of wild hair, which makes you think of a fast food mascot. Ah, these are the visitors above, yes?
Yes. I wonder if we could have a brief chat with the guru in private.
He peers at you over his darkened glasses. His eyes are extremely bloodshot and yellowed. What could we have to discuss in private? And what are you doing bringing stims here? I provide the gang with everything they need.
We have better stims from. What? Sorry, what was the company that he worked for before? I didn't make a note.
Oh,
of it.
him. You didn't ask and don't know.
Okay. Well, we've been sent to.
Do we know the name of the big, like biotechnical firm?
Yeah.
Just drop that.
Yeah, that's probably TG Labs. There you go.
Digilabs, did you say?
TG.
Oh, TG Labs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been sent down here by corporate from TG Labs. I'm sure you're familiar with them in your line of work.
Yeah. Yes. Amateurs.
Well, it seems they would like your expertise, and it's something that perhaps we should talk about absent your followers, believers.
I won't be leaving here. These people need me and what I can supply. But I see no harm in discussing things with you in private. He nods to the gang leader, who steps back and then gestures for you to follow him.
Okay, so I'll follow him. I assume everyone else would come.
Yeah. He leads you into a little sort of laboratory space out back. There's some ancient looking lab equipment, battered and much repaired. And there's all kinds of weird nutrient tanks and things with God knows what's in them, but some of them are blinking at you.
Get the conversation started. I just want to tell him, I say, Doctor, so we took a sample of your stems upstairs and it just got a bit jittery. But your man out there said there might be a psychological component. Maybe I'm just not in the right mental state.
That could be part of it. There's also a genetic component. Generational poverty creates a certain tightness to the gene pool in places like this, which is very suitable for my purposes. Now, are you really from TG Labs? You have the stink of freelancers upon you.
Oh, well, they're not going to send down their employees, are they? They need to send freelancers to do their dirty work. TG Labs would like to have your services, and they're willing to pay you significantly more than you're able to scrounge from these people.
And they were curious about a project, something you're working on. They were tight-lipped about it, but would we be able to perhaps take a look?
See, I don't know if that can possibly be true. I mean, the reason I was fired was because my experiments expanded the borders of knowledge rather than finances. So I'm afraid I doubt the TG Labs would be much interested in my little home experiments.
I
It
mean,
doesn't seem likely.
it doesn't seem likely that we would come down here with a crate full of stims that we're just giving away, that were manufactured by TG Labs.
Yeah.
if we weren't from TG Labs.
There's been a shake-up in management.
Still,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I don't like to question the why or the how or any of these things. I take my orders. They told me to come down here, give the message to you, and return with you. And
I don't know that I wish to be welded to the corporate teat once again. Sure, everyone makes big noise about how unethical corporations are and how they don't care about the law or regulations or ethics or humanity. But the moment your unnatural and terrifying experiment is no longer profitable, psh, you're out on your ear. So
well,
what's going to make TG Labs any different?
I get the impression that they just wanted you for a short-term project and that you'd be well rewarded and could then return down here and carry on with what you're doing here.
Hmm. Well, if the pay is good enough, but I suppose their running dog lackeys won't have information on what they're offering exactly, other than generous.
Oh, well, I mean, they've sent us down here with a crate full of stims that's worth at least 15k.
Let me see them.
I'll take a look.
Hmm. No, this is quality. I know the brand. Yes. I mean, it's not as good as the raw street stuff from the cartels. You know, they use cloned children without heads. But it's yes, good stuff. Clean is the important bit, and that's what's most difficult down here, as I'm sure you can appreciate. But the stims is only part of what we're doing down here.
Yeah, well, I mean, our intel was that you were providing stims for these people, and we were to make sure that they were left with a supply of stims. Should you wish to stay there, we can continue to supply them, but obviously for a fee, which they'll have to rob from somewhere. We can negotiate with that later. But in the meantime, they can take these, and these should keep them tied over until you return if you choose to return.
True. So, but are they actually interested in my work? You mentioned you wanted to see it.
Well,
There was
Doctor,
something.
I'm quite interested. I came down here as part of this business, but let's say I've been isolated from society for quite a while, and your men upstairs intrigued me with the talk of life and all the things that they were learning from you. And I'm currently, in the mood to experiment with a bit of everything. So I would be interested in what you've got going on here. Truly,
Well, come then. Go. I'll show you. You may find this interesting. He heads out of the little lab room and down the hallway, waving off the gangers who are still sort of hovering, waiting to see what happens. It's really quite amazing what I've managed to accomplish here without the constraints of accountants or ethicists. He opens the door into another chamber. You can hear animal noises rustling around in cages and things, but they're all covered over, so you can't quite see what it is inside. But there's a very animal smell to the whole place. He picks one of the cages, which is like a bird cage covered with a tarp, and with some effort brings it out to a table in the middle of the chamber, sets it down. Be ready, for I have accomplished something truly remarkable that I don't think anyone else has, at least not to the level that I have. Behold the results of chimeric fusion. He drags off the top. Inside, on a perch, is an owl. But in place of the owl's head is that of a bear. It looks up at you growls slightly, and then because the head is so big and heavy compared to its body, topples off its perch and lands on its head with a thump.
It's an owl bear.
Yes, or a bear owl, or a browl, if you will. It's just an example to show how the process can work. But really, I can blend anything, provided I have the genes and sufficient flesh to work with.
I was led to believe you're doing some work on humans.
Ah, yes. Humans are the most dangerous creature. After all, adaptability and intelligence, the only things that really compete with us in this cesspool of a city are cockroaches and rats, the genes of other animals being somewhat harder to come by, the flesh of other animals being somewhat harder to come by, but humans everywhere. Of course, the intelligence gets degraded somewhat when they get blended into the whole. There's no human in this creature. It's just an example.
How much for a tail?
For a tail? For yourself?
Absolutely.
What manner of tail? A long, sinewy rat tail, furless, like a whip, yes?
I was thinking like a prehensile tail, like from a monkey.
Monkeys. Yeah, well, we still have some lines of those. They're still used for experimentation. Why we bother when there are humans around, I don't know, but I might be able to work something out for you. Should you wish. Hi, Dover. Of course, it'll take some time. I'll have to get your gene print, locate the monkey in question. Yeah. But yes, it should be doable.
Do you do the testing here?
Yes, I just need a swab from your cheek. Back to the lab.
Would it be possible to see any other work that you've done on humans to see if this is something I'd like to follow through with?
He stops and ponders whether he really wants to show you anything else. Can you make a presence roll, difficulty 10, please?
Okay. D10?
D20.
D20. Okay.
Yeah.
11, and I've got a +1 in presence.
Yeah, so 12. He hems and haws, and well, all right. There is one creature, my pride and joy, you might say. One moment, I created an image for this one, so oops. Definitely need to get better at this. Okay, so yeah, he leads you out of the little menagerie room, and further on, some workers move past you carrying buckets of broken up concrete, and you can hear pile drivers and things going off up ahead, breaking up more of the concrete. Then he ducks into a side room, past a crude gate made from old car doors, and inside. And in there, beyond a kind of jagged and crudely built cage, is a weird creature, sort of part crocodilian, part canine, but there's a look of intelligence in its eyes as it paces around inside its cage.
Well, that is fucking cool. What did you make that from?
We found a colony of alligators living in the sewers beneath one of the sectors. So we took some of that, and there are some mongrel dogs that have been eating people close to one of the other blocks. So we took some of that, and a little bit of a dash of human just to make it a bit more cunning and adaptable.
Did the humans survive the process?
Can you be more specific?
Is that the human that you've modified, or did you modify a crocodile? Or...
Well, yes,
The
and yes. I mean, the flesh of all three is incorporated into the whole. So the human survives in there. The alligator, crocodile survives in there. The dog survives in there as a blend, as a melange.
Which brain is controlling it?
Well, that's a question for philosophers. I'm a scientist. It's not as intelligent as a human, but it's a blend of the three. So I suppose you could say if it was an average human with an intelligence quotient, given where we are, malnutrition and so on, of about 80, and then you take the mean IQ of an alligator. I've got no idea what that would be, but certainly less than 80. And a dog is about as intelligent as a child. So I'd say perhaps this thing is as intelligent as a 5 or 6-year-old.
Well, I mean, you don't need soldiers to be smart, do you? You just need to follow orders.
Quite. It should be eminently trainable. Unlike the Browl. Which is more of a conversation starter.
What state does it leave the human in?
They're in there.
So
Yes.
if my friend Yam here were to get a tail, would he have residual rat or monkey consciousness?
I mean, the tail is an extension of the spine in such creatures, and it's rather up in the air how much of our intelligence, how much of our brain continues down through the stem into the spine and onwards. You might pick up a few monkey traits, but we're already part ape.
Do you have any human subjects that are in an earlier stage of this? It would be good to see the progression. This is fascinating.
Certainly, he's well into. You can tell he's impressed with his work, and feels good about having someone to show it off to. So he leads you down to another menagerie room, but in this one, the cages are full of huddled, filthy-looking people, clearly just kind of stolen from the streets. Many of them seem to have wounds or lumps on their noggins, or they've been in fights, so someone's clearly kidnapped them using force. They leap forward against the bars of the cage the moment you all come in sight. There's a sort of loud clang as they all move as one, arms reaching through the bars towards you. Just ignore them.
Do we recognize any of them as the person we're looking for?
So what can we use for luck? A d6, I guess. Right, and will you make knowledge rolls, please? Difficulty is 18.
Well, I rolled a 6, so no.
Natural 20. That's the fourth of the night.
God damn it. All right. As luck would have it, you do spot the person you're looking for. She's slammed up against the front of the bars, people pushing against her from behind, so her face is kind of squishing through. But she's who you're supposed to rescue.
I'm gonna. I'm assuming the scientist. He's off, kind of in his own world, giving us a tour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and use that to, whenever he's looking around at something else, to tap Cow and Yam on the shoulder and point to the girl.
Okay. So yeah, he's going off. Well, see, even small subjects are useful. The flesh is more plastic, more flexible, can be used in more ways, while the bulkier people can provide the majority of the muscle mass and so on. I can use parts if I want, or multiples of the little ones. Yeah. And he's going on, and you tap everyone's shoulders and point, and the rest of you spot her.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating. I'm sure you're. I mean, I take it you will be coming up to corporate with us to at least speak to them about the offer. Perhaps we could bring some of your test subjects with you. We've already we've given the cover story for your followers. You'll be spreading the good word.
Well, you've been very polite. You've shown interest. I guess there's no harm in hearing out corporate. Do you have secure transportation? They said all you had was a taxi. I can't
It's
really.
armored.
I can't. Well, I can't very well bring many test subjects in a taxi, can I?
Well, you can always come back for some more.
Yeah,
We just require just one small example.
Yeah, I mean, if we take one or two with us for now, but leave word with the workers here that we may come back and retrieve some more.
Yeah.
So that they are expecting us to come back. Well, if not us, then somebody from corporate.
Well, I suppose so. Pick out a couple of small ones that we can cram in the trunk of your car.
Well, I think that one. I'll point to the one that we're there to rescue. They look like a fine specimen. Is there any secure means of transporting the one that you showed us earlier with the crocodile, alligator, and the dog DNA?
Oh no, it's far too big to fit in your cab. I could bring the Browl as well.
I'm not sure about the Browl. I'm not sure that really represents what corporate's vision is with your work.
I think it shows the extreme degree to which I've developed the technology.
It does, but I certainly think the more impressive dog alligator person would.
I don't know. The Brawl might make a very nice plushie one day. So
look, think about it this way: you're talking to corporate heads. You don't need to show them the science of it because they're not going to get it. You need to show them the flash.
Yeah. Do you have any means of recording video footage or?
Oh, I have test footage and notes. I can bring that. We can show them some of that. Some of the
I definitely think they'd be interested in that. Well, certainly that creature and anything like it.
Very well. Feel free to extract that creature. I'll fetch my notes and records.
Okay. Well, if you can make sure that the people here are aware that we may be coming back for them, and for any of your test subjects.
Well, we'll just take that one, and I think I will bring the Browl. It is a conversation starter, and if we back it up with the video, I think that'll do fine.
Well, it can't hurt to bring it, can it?
No. All right. Yes. Well, you get her out, and I'll get the notes. And he ducks out through the crude armored door and wanders off. You think he'd be whistling happily to himself if he had lips. The moment he's out of the room, the whole mob in the cages starts howling at you to please let us out. He's a monster.
I'll just turn to him and be like, shut up.
Are there keys somewhere?
Well, presumably, he left you with the capability to get open. So, there's a magnetic card key hanging on the wall far away from the cages. as are some catch poles with collars on them for catching people.
We still need to play the part of being from corporate and being, not.
We can always
Pricks.
double back.
So, yeah, I'm going to just point my gun at the cage and just be like, look, everybody back away from the bars. We just want that one, and point to the girl we're taking.
Yeah.
You by the door, everyone else far side of the cage. We'll
All
be
right.
back with you later.
Reluctantly, under the threat of death, they back away with the gun pointed at them. She remains at the front, and you're able to get the gate open and get her out.
I want to go to the main door and look out in the hallway and just sort of watch as they're doing that.
Okay, well, he seems to have collected his notes already, and now he's down at the far end of this long central hallway, talking to the gang leader. You can't hear what they're saying, but it seems quite animated.
Okay, well,
Can I try and get closer to them?
Yeah. Do you want to guide your captive along with you, or?
Yeah. So we're just her head down, look like we're trying to just walk past them just because we have no other way around. If that's yeah. Or
Well,
at
it's
least
quite close quarters, and there's these workers carrying buckets, and they've kind of gotten stalled because the guru and the gang leader are in the way, arguing with each other, and the gang leader is a big fella, big slab of flesh. But the gist of the argument is that, yes, I'm going with these people with my experiments, one of my test subjects, just to meet with some corporate heads, get some more funds for my work down here. I'll be back. But the gang leader is like, no, Guru, you cannot leave us. You must remain. You make the sacrament. You can't leave. Let them come here if they need to learn from you.
oh, we've been sent with this fine supply of stims to tide you over while we borrow the guru. He'll be back.
It's not the same. We cannot grow closer to Chuma without our stims from our guru.
These are just to tide you over. These will stop you getting any withdrawals from not having the guru's stims. And he'll be back and he'll continue your supply when he returns.
Guru, we cannot allow you to leave with these people. You must stay here where it is safe, where we can guide you and guard you. You can make more for us. Your creatures and your diseases and your stimulants and everything else that we need. He's like, I really must insist. And then the gang leader puts his huge bulky arm across the tunnel. Says, no, you are staying.
I mean, what are you going to do? Kill him if he tries to leave?
No, but we can imprison him here. You can leave.
Can we take the girl and the brow with us as evidence so that we can convince the people we work for to come here and, fund this little program?
What do I care about the girl? We can find others from the blocks around us. They're easy prey. Take her.
And the brow?
And the brow.
Perhaps we could take a couple more of them, since we've got the room in the car now. We can take a couple more of them to show the various different things that the doctor has been doing.
I really think I should go with them, he says, and edges slightly towards you. No, you must stay here. You must keep us supplied. You must help us draw closer to Chuma.
Doc, how... Sorry, go ahead.
I think you were probably going to ask the same sort of question as I was. You carry on.
How married to this arrangement are you, Doc? I know it's you've got good resources here to work with, but if things go right with TG Labs, you're not going to need these gangoons anymore.
Oh, well. He takes out a little pocket computer tablet and the stylus and doodles on it and then shows it to you. Here, you can read, yes?
Yes, I can read.
Okay. On the tablet, it says, they can't read. And then below that, it says, there's always other gangs.
Okay. So at that point, gonna take out my goddamn flail, like a Go-Go Yabara type flail, and I'm gonna smash this guy's head in.
Okay. So, combat. Right. I just need to make note of who is here. The big guy and his 2 bodyguards. I'll let you all go first because you've basically got initiative from surprise. Right. There's the stats for the gangs. Okay. Second. Okay, and no one else is really going to interfere. So, all right, you lash out with your goddamn flail. You need to beat 12 to hit the boss.
3.
Okay, so yeah, you unsling your flail and lash out. Somehow, probably because he's hopped up on stems, he reacts in time and ducks back. And the flail flies past the front of his face and smashes into the wall, breaking away more of the concrete. What do you other guys want to do?
I'm going to put a bullet in him.
Okay. You had that gun at the ready, so that'll be an agility roll to hit him. If you're going for the big guy, difficulty 12.
Well, 9.
Okay. So yeah, in the same instant that the flail is swung, you bring up your gun and fire, but he's ducked back so far that the bullet just smashes up a cloud of concrete dust.
Can I use
So
a
that
glitch?
You can use a glitch. You can re-roll that roll.
I got an even worse roll.
Was it a 1?
No, it's 4.
Okay. Right, you still missed despite a brief flash of static in front of your eyes. Right, so that just leaves Yom.
I will step back to the nearest wall and pull out my prototype smart assault rifle.
Yep.
And I will try to shoot the main guy.
The boss. All right,
Yeah.
see, yeah, you step back, you make a gesture with your arm, and your rifle sort of assembles itself like a transformer out of bits of metal secreted around your body, clicks into place, and zeroes in on him. All right, make an agility roll to hit.
Okay. Let's see, I've got. Well, let's just see first. Never mind. 6.
6. Okay. None of you can hit.
I'll go ahead and use the glitch too at this point.
Okay.
We're basically stormtroopers.
Yeah, it says I've got an auto fire. It says auto fire tests are always at -1. So does that mean I really need a 10? To hit him?
It means if you're doing, I need to look up auto fire because that's always a pain in the ass. Combat 82. Initiative, which we didn't bother with. Melee is strength tests. Ranged shots are agility tests. Auto fire is difficulty 12. If you hit, you can roll again, and then if you hit, you can roll again up to a maximum of 3 times.
Okay, well, I'll do that.
Okay, so yeah, you flick the switch to full auto and open up.
And an 11.
Which the difficulty was 12, but you've got -1 difficulty on auto fire, which makes it 11. So that first one's a hit. Roll again.
16.
It's a hit. Roll again.
9.
Okay, so that's 2 hits. So the smart rifle goes burr. A bunch of smart rounds fly out and do their best to compensate for everyone's terrible aim, twisting around in the air and zooming in on him. You got 2 hits, so roll a d10 twice. Tell me the results individually.
9 and an 8.
Okay. 9 and 8. I roll for his armor, which is d4. 3 and 4. So that drops it to 6 and 4, which means he takes 10 damage from his hit points. But he's a big lad. Okay, the smart rounds strike into his body. The first round configs itself for armor penetration and burrows through his armor. The second round configures itself for maximum flesh damage and hits into the tumorous mass of musculature that makes up his body and blows a nice raggedy hole in it. Blood and gore and less identifiable fluids spray out of this fresh new cavity in his body and paint the wall. He grunts and staggers, but seems more pissed off than anything else. Right, so...
You used a grenade.
In these confined quarters, underground, with my reputation. Okay, so it is their turn. Looking at this gaping wound in his body, this big hole, you see little strings of flesh like gristle start to reach across the gap and knit together, which is not what you want to see when you've just shot someone. Can you each make agility rolls to avoid being hit? Difficulty 12.
No.
18.
Yom.
7.
Okay, so Yom and Cal are hit. Right. Ow. Okay. What is Yom's armor rating?
I got it's a D2 minus D2, so I rolled a 6-sided and got a 2. So
Okay, so that drops it by 1. You take 5 hit points of damage as he slams his enormous, gristly, bony fist into you and crushes you against the wall.
Are my hit points supposed to be 22?
No.
No. Okay, because there's 2/2.
What does that mean? Hang on.
I think he's got 2 out of 2.
That's probably what it is. Okay, so you're knocked down to -3 hit points, which isn't necessarily dead.
We've got loads of stims. I'm sure we can stim them back up to
Yeah.
alive.
Okay. Yeah, you're just smashed into the wall. A bunch of bones break. Blood splatters the inside of your helmet, and you lose consciousness. Cal was also hit. What's your armor rating?
I don't see an armor rating. So
You may not have one. Let me have a look at your character. Yeah. Nope, you don't have any armor. So you take 3 hit points of damage as one of the other goons yanks out some sort of ancient generic 9mm pistol and fires off a couple of shots, one of which wings you.
ouch.
Right, it is your turn again, except for Yom, whose only action is to bleed and slide slowly down the wall.
How many stims could I realistically inject them with in one round?
2?
It's probably not going to make someone like that overdose.
Probably not. You could inject Yom with them. They will have a healing effect. Of course, they may have other effects, but they will have a healing effect.
No, I'm going to put my gun to the head of the guru
Yeah.
and yell, "Everybody calm the fuck down."
Okay, make a presence roll, difficulty 10.
13.
Okay, they stop. Does Jar still want to fight them or do something else?
If they stop, I'm gonna stop.
Okay. And what about poor Yom?
Do you have any red juice?
You've got adrenochrome from the crate, which will heal D6 hit points.
Okay. I will, not knowing the side effects, I will use one.
Okay.
If he doesn't get up, I'll use another.
Okay.
Stab me with one of those while you're at it.
So not like you don't have enough. Okay. Yom returns from the dead with 1 hit point, coughing up bits of his own ribs. Yeah, you do not feel good at all, but at least you're alive. Yeah, sort of vision swims back in, gasping for breath, and then stab Cow with 1. You can have 4
just
hit
wanted
points
to
back.
growl.
Yeah, the Browl's cage lies sideways on the floor. It's walking in circles around its head.
So, listen, this is what's going to happen. Your guru is coming with us. He's going to come back. If you don't let him come with us, I'm going to put a bullet in his head. Do you understand?
I don't like this plan. Yes, we understand.
Now, he's going to come back. You're going to be good. You're going to take these stims, give them to your boys.
Fine. Get out of here.
Make sure these need to last you at least a week. Don't just take them all at once.
Pace yourselves, boys. Okay, 1 sec. I need to look up something very quickly.
And if the guru's going to be much longer, we're going to come back and get some of his test subjects in a few days, okay? And you're going to
Very
let
well.
her. And if you behave nicely, We might come back with more stims after that.
I'll be right back. I gotta take a minute.
Okay.
I want to point at the brow and ask the doctor if he can fix it.
It's not broken. What are you talking about?
No. Oh, I thought it was walking around its head. Well, I want to grab the brow.
Okay, you right the cage. It's upside down with its owl body on top. Its legs going, but it seems otherwise fine. But the gangers, step out of your way respectfully as you lead the scientist out, Imran, with the gun to his head. You're able to get up the stairs. A lot more gang members are waiting on the upper level, sort of watching you warily, ready for trouble at any point. But you're able to get out and get over to the cab without any real trouble. Well, I'm glad that's all over. So, uptown to meet TG, right?
Yeah, something like that. Get in the cab.
Very well. Do you mind if I sit in the passenger seat up front? I get car seat.
No, you can sit in the back.
I'd really prefer to sit in the front.
I don't give a fuck. Sit in the back.
Well, TG will hear about this. And he slides into the back. Putting the girl in the trunk?
Yep, girl in the trunk. We're not being paid to be nice to her.
No. And the browl?
I'll just chuck that in the back with the scientist.
Yeah, I'm staying with it.
Okay. Alright, so you pile back into the cab. Seems like mission accomplished.
We haven't named the brow yet.
Sorry about that.
That's alright. Well, do you think it's a good idea to name an abomination?
That's a good one to come back to.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know yet. I have to think about it for a minute.
How about Kev?
I think the plan is just to drop these two off at the destination and then go back and rescue the rest of the test subjects.
You're not being
Just
paid
paying
to
us
rescue
for
the
that.
rest of the... Yeah.
No, we haven't been paid for it, but I don't want to leave them in a cage with the gang not knowing what to do with them. And we can, I mean, are they all women?
No.
Okay, well, we'll save the women and children for the brothel.
You deliberately tried to run over a child early. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I mean, I was going to start a brothel with the women and children.
Oh, okay. All right, now it makes sense. Is this the reincarnation of your other character?
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones. Okay, so you're heading back to the low bar to make the handoff?
Yeah. I want to explain to them as well what that dog alligator person thing was and see if we can arrange some sort of sale of that. So letting that loose on an enemy is probably going to be a good thing for Mr. Peace.
All right. So the drive back is uneventful. You don't think you're being followed, and you got rid of the tracker, so no one else is going to give you any issues. So you drive down and down and down into the lower levels under the mega blocks, and make your way back to the low bar. Can you all make knowledge rolls, please? Difficulty 12.
I rolled a 4, so no.
Nah, that's a 5 for me.
You. Yom?
7.
Okay, no. None of you notice whatever it is I was making you roll to notice. Okay, so you pull up outside the front of the low bar, and the scientist is much perplexed. What? This isn't Uptown. This is exactly the opposite of Uptown. What are we doing here?
It's just a quick pit stop. We've just got to go and collect something before we go back up.
Tiresome, all these delays.
Yeah. Come with us anyway. We can't leave you outside here. We'll have to bring the test subject too.
Okay, so you go up to the door, the slats pulled back with a clang. He just looks at you and recognizes you this time, grunts, opens the door, lets you in. It's a bit more crowded now. There's a bit more of a buzz to the place. Looks like some fixers and clients just like to come here to hang out sometimes later in the day. But Mr. Peace is waiting for you at the same yellow formica topped table, playing with a knife in his fingers.
We've got your scientist, got your girl.
He startles when you speak to him, drops the knife, which stabs into the formica. Like, fuck! I didn't think you'd be back, to be honest.
Yeah, we've got some further business that we'd like to discuss with you as well.
Looks over at Imran. Oh, well, that's also surprising. And you brought the girl in with you as well, didn't you?
Yes.
That's a 3 for 3. Well done. Imran's like, can we get this over with? I really, really want to get back to Uptown.
I'm gonna pistol whip him on the back of the head to try and knock him out.
Yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah, he doesn't see it coming. You smack the back of his papery skull at risk of smashing it like an old wasp's nest. And he slumps forward over the table and burbling to himself.
So he thinks he's going to work for the corporation.
Well, yeah, something like that will happen, certainly.
Yeah. He's made some sort of alligator dog person thing that I think is cool as fuck, and I think you're going to want it. We can go back and get it for you for a fee.
Do you have any proof of the existence of this thing?
Yeah, he's got like research notes or something on him.
Well, video can be faked.
Well, it could, but why? I mean, we get the thing and you give us the money.
Well, true.
Weren't they curious about his human experimentation?
They were. Well, I suppose if you could retrieve such a thing.
Also, do you happen to have a brothel that needs whores?
You keep surprising me. No, but I know someone who does.
Excellent. Plenty of women and children we can go and pick up as well that will be quite happy to get out of where they are and into
forced sex work. Yes, that sounds
yeah,
like
I mean, it's better than what was going to happen to them. So
it is a step up. That is true.
Things, it's doing good.
I like your go-getting attitude and entrepreneurial spirit. So yeah, if you can get me more, sure. Do you want to settle up the rest of the payment when you return?
Well,
so I don't want to give you.
Have you got a bus or a people carrier we could use? Something bigger than a taxi, because we need to bring a few things.
Well,
a lorry would be good.
Let's focus on the alligator dog.
Yeah, I can get a hold of one. Yeah, I can get you something for transportation. What I'm getting at is if I pay you now, and you get killed returning to the scene of the crime, you know, taking on the gang, getting this creature, you know, then I'm out 30 grand each of you, right? So what if I don't pay you until you get back with this alligator dog person thing.
I'm okay with that if everyone else is. I mean, the gang knows we're coming back. They know we've got the doctor and they want him back.
True, that gives you some extra leverage, but I just feel a lot safer with my finances if I didn't pay you until you got back.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. You've got the money. You're good for it.
Oh, I'm good for it. He shows you his credit rating on his wrist computer. Yeah, he's minted.
Yeah.
So what? Add 30 grand on top again if you can get hold of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, I tell you what, you pay off our debts. You obviously know we have some debts.
Yeah.
So there's what 30 grand of debts between us or something like that.
Something like that. Right, forward me the deets, and I'll send off the creds. Get you clear and free. You go finish up this other part, and we'll settle the balance then. Sound good?
Sounds good. Everyone else happy with that?
I think we should stick with just the alligator for him. We can let the people go.
They'll just get picked up by the gang again. We'll give them safe lodgings with.
Not if there's no gang left.
And they were only collecting them for the doctor's sake, so.
How about we pick them up, we bring them back here, and we'll decide what to do with them later.
Fine.
And I'll wink at Mr. Peace.
Okay. So what's the plan from here then?
I've got some of the adrenochrome 2 in my things. Can I try to heal my other hit point?
Yeah, it's kind of overkill for healing a hit point, but yes, you can.
Well,
Yeah,
is there any other?
No.
No.
Well, you've had rest and medical attention and the stims from before, so maybe the wounds weren't as bad as you thought. So you can just have that other hit point back, considering how fragile you are.
All right. Should we? They were building. I mean, they were doing tunnels and stuff. Should we, like, try to wake up the doctor and ask him if there's a back way into this place? Maybe we can just instead of just pulling up to the apartment building and trying to shoot our way through all these people who, at least the main guy heals. I mean, we don't know if the other gang members do too.
Well, we don't need to shoot our way through anyone. They know we're coming back. They know we've got the doctor.
You're just going to try to let them take. We just need to tell them we need the test subjects in the thing, and we're going to leave again.
Yeah, we'll be back with the doctor. When we said to the boss guy, we're coming back. We're going to get them. We're going to get the thing, and then we'll come back with more stims after that if they behave.
Worst case scenario, we're fighting our way out.
Yeah.
Rather than fighting our way in.
Yeah, I was just kind of hoping to have a second way in or out. You know, like maybe there's the tunnel that, you know.
That's actually a good idea.
I mean, just in case we get stuck down there, if we knew there was a second way out, we could get out easier. I mean.
Yeah, let's dim the doctor and see what.
No! Did anyone get the number of that train? No, take me back, please. He'll sell me to somebody.
Yeah, probably. My associate here had some questions for you.
Yes, doctor. Your tunnels y'all are building under your thing. Is there a back way in or out?
Will you let me go if I tell you?
Yes.
We're gonna let you go with Mr. Peace here. Don't worry, he's gonna take very good care of you.
That's not the kind of freedom I had in mind. I suppose you'll torture me or beat me some more if I don't tell you?
Yes.
Mr. Peace just wants to put you to work doing what you were doing, but for him.
Fine. Yes, there is another way in. I built it myself using some of my test subjects. There's an old disused noodle stand under the tower that's next door to ours, further to the west, and there's a tunnel underneath it.
Are there any noodles there?
There may yet be noodles, but I doubt it. The passcode is 1234.
It's the code of my luggage.
It's my PIN number. Okay, well, we'll be leaving you with Mr. Peace, and if we don't come back, then I'll make sure that something not very nice happens to you.
Fine. All right, so heading out.
Yeah, we're gonna need like a truck or something to move this monster.
Yeah. So Peace makes a few calls and says, "Yeah, okay, got it arranged. There'll be a truck delivered outside soon."
So we just head down to the noodle stand.
I think that's
Everyone
the
else
idea.
is cool with that.
Yeah.
All right, you step out through the
Wait
armored
a minute.
door
You didn't tell us where the tunnel came in from. Like,
down in his labs.
which of the was it one of the rooms we were in?
In his personal rooms, one of the rooms you
Personal
haven't
room.
seen yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. So yeah, you step out of the armored door, back out onto the street. Can you make knowledge rolls again, please? Difficulty 12.
Gonna use a glitch on this one.
Okay.
19.
Okay, that's better.
13.
Okay.
right.
Your
14.
All right. Coming out, you all notice that there is a big pile of garbage that wasn't there earlier, and you don't think it kind of manifested itself in the relatively short amount of time that you were away. As you look at it, you become increasingly aware that it is about the right size and shape to be an APC.
Just
Immediate
garbage
reactions.
Cloak,
Okay. You see that, right? It's not just me.
Yeah, I see a better vehicle for us. Let's rob it.
If it's
Well,
disguised.
as you say that, a bunch of the rubbish sort of erupts from the back of this thing. A gang walk slams down. 3 corporate soldiers in full body armor and assault rifles come out. The top of it bursts up as well, and another soldier appears on top, swinging a machine gun cannon around. The 3 troops sort of spread out and come towards you, shouting, "Biotech IP secure. Stand and surrender."
The one that gets really close, I'm gonna attempt to grapple and strangle,
Okay.
using their body as a shield if anyone's gonna be firing at me.
Combat then. Right. So this may well turn out to be rather deadly, in which case it'll be a relatively short game. But I am quite tired tonight, so that's fine by me. Right. Let's see.
I was going to surrender.
Well, that choice has been taken away from
I was going
I
to
mean,
grab
you
the
can still
brow
surrender.
and be like, "Don't shoot the brow."
you. Okay. Right. So yeah, the first one comes closer, within grabbing range, and Jar suddenly springs into action. Okay, make a strength roll for melee.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a what? Got
Yeah.
any glitches left?
No, I saved that damn kid.
You can use my glitch.
See, that's what you get for being a humanitarian. Yeah, you can spend glitches for each
All
other,
right.
so there
All
you go.
right.
You get it.
Yeah, thank you.
But maybe they don't even know he was trying to. She was trying to strangle him. She just tripped and fell.
No, that's a 3. I still fucked that one up.
Why are you
Epilepsy.
choking yourself? Okay, so you spring for this guy, but this is no Gangoon. This is like a corporate security operative, so he is wise. He sort of jumps back quickly out of the way. Seeing that this is kicking off, what are you two doing?
I'm just going to put my hands in the air and be like,
Like you just don't care?
yeah, I'm nothing to do with this. Don't shoot.
Weren't me, Gov. 1 second. Okay. And Yom?
I tried to play it off and yell, "Jar, why are you always so clumsy?"
Okay. Make a presence roll to try and convince them this is all a misunderstanding. Difficulty 16.
Oh boy. 15, but I have a +1 from the. Oh no, because you didn't let me take the adrenochrome.
No. So you don't have the +1.
If I had taken it, I would have had. Oh wait, I have a +1 in presence.
Okay, well there you go. All right, the corporate goons stand down slightly, so they take up their positions with their horribly beweaponed firearms leveled at you. The guy in front says, "Set down the intellectual property and stand back."
Wait, what's my
what
brawl?
intellectual property?
The thing in the cage in the taxi. Fetch it out. Put it down here.
Oh, hold on now. A damn bird. I'm just gonna grumble.
You in the helmet. Fetch it.
You fetch it.
He cocks his gun, even though it's already cocked, and a bullet flies out and scatters along the ground. No, you fetch it.
All right, I go fetch it, and then, like, as I'm walking back, I want to like kind of just jingle the thing, so I can like accidentally like let it out of its cage.
Okay. Right, you put the cage down quite firmly, having unlatched the door. One of the corp soldiers comes forward and pulls aside the covering. As he does so, the Browl leaps to the attack, rolling out of the cage door and sitting rather pathetically, mewling in front of him. He just stares at it. What the fuck is that?
It's the intellectual property, officer.
We're not paid to ask questions. Just get that thing back in its cage. The corpse soldier shrugs and rolls the Browl back into its cage with the butt of his submachine gun, not wanting to touch it. Is the developer on the premises?
Probably. Do you want to go and have a look? I don't know who you're on about. We're nothing to
Looks
do
at
with
the-
this.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
just
even our
happen to
car.
you just happen to have a mutant creature in the back of a stolen cab. Sure.
Hey, that's not our cab. You just told us to go and get something out of it.
Corporal, he says to one of the others. He slings his submachine gun, unzips his vest, which sort of drops open. There's a sort of palm computer and a little portable printer on it. He sort of taps away on there and prints out 3 sheets of paper and holds them out to you. NDAs, sign.
Okay.
I guess, yeah. I guess we're signing.
Basically, you're promising not to reveal or talk to anyone about the intellectual property or its origin, anywhere, ever, under penalty of corporate death sentence.
Now, that's a good drinking story, but if you say so.
Right. Then he tears apart the sheets, gives you your copies, takes his copies. They retreat back into the APC. Which then rumbles off, leaving you alone.
Well, that was weird.
I wasn't expecting you to back down. However, the truck that Mr. Peace ordered doesn't arrive, and you've been out here quite a while now.
Taxi it is then, I guess.
Wait, he never paid us. I'm gonna check
No,
back.
because
yeah,
you're going to
right.
go get the Crocker wolf person thing, the man bear pig.
All right,
Okay.
noodle shop it is.
I'm flagging a bit. It's been a busy few days. So, I mean, if you're going to just threaten them and say that you've got him captive, there's really nothing to stop you rescuing who you want. The only fly in the ointment will be capturing the creature. So, we could just do that scene and then end for the night, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yep.
figured that the doctor would have had some sort of means of cajoling that creature into.
This is probably true.
He had the man catchers.
Yeah.
Yes, only a bigger version. Well, he makes his own drugs. So yeah, when you head down there, though you go in the back way, thereby avoiding any potential gang entanglements. Yeah, you emerge out in the doctor's room, which is nightmarish. It's very Spartan, apart from one crusty sock, but every surface of the room is adorned with biological diagrams and like autopsy records and so on. He really loves his work, you think. But you're able to get through to the creature. They've got a big pneumatic gun that fires, elephant-sized trank darts. So you're able to trank the creature, release more people, and take them up the secret tunnel without too much bother. Then between you manage to bodily drag this thing up through the tunnel, out onto the surface, bungee cord that motherfucker to the top of the taxi, and then return once more. I'm
No more
probably
brawls?
having no more browls. No, that the poor thing is
I'm
gone.
gonna be a chick magnet.
Or a cub magnet.
Something.
Okay, Mr. Peace is even more surprised to see you back this time, but he pays you very swiftly and seems to want to put the whole job behind him. He seems very unsettled by you all. So yeah, it's a bit of a quick game tonight. And sorry, I'm a bit tired, but that was a lot of fun. Even if I played it up a bit sillier than it's meant to be. So we were playing Cyborg, very simple, very deadly setting, spin-off from Morkborg. Did everyone have fun?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
fun.
the system.
It's very, very easy. Crocopaniel. That's very good. Crusty sock? Was it just dusty? It was nothing but bone and sinew. Now you know why he was drained of bodily fluids. Right. Well, thanks for watching. I don't know yet what we're playing next week. I will figure that out. I don't know if T-Shirt's going to be feeling up to running his game then. This channel, due to recent controversies, is now very nearly at its first milestone for being monetizable. So if anyone watching wants to go back through the channel, there's a whole bunch of live plays on here. There's a whole Dragon Warriors campaign I did for people during lockdown, which I think is a good show off of the system. And the guy who wrote it, Dave Morris, thought it was a good way of showing off the system. So please go and look at that. Drop comments, likes, subscribes, all of that usual YouTuber shit. And we'll see you next week, one way or the other. Thanks for playing, everyone. Night
Thanks
all.
for anything.
Thank
Later.
you.